Hear ye, have ye heard the news? It is rather exciting. We the people have reclaimed the Commonwealth of Australia by returning the original states of the Commonwealth back into public trust. Let it be known that the public trust, Commonwealth Public Trust, was signed, sealed and delivered on the land under a fig tree in Hyde Park, Sydney at 12 o'clock on the 13th of April 2025. The trust that was signed that day is available to be read online at commonwealthpublicnotice.org. And I'm now going to read to you a summary of that trust. Summary of the Declaration of Trust and Founding Trust Deed for the Restoration of the Commonwealth of Australia. The Declaration of Trust and Founding Trust Deed establishes a lawful and moral foundation for restoring the true original Commonwealth of Australia based upon trust law, common law, natural law and divine law. It is a formal and solemn act by the people of the original states, reaffirming their inherent sovereignty, rights and duties under Almighty God, and rejecting the stealthy corporate usurpation that has overtaken governance since the 20th century. This trust asserts that the Commonwealth was originally formed under the Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1900 Imperial, which remains a living public trust. The people, as trustors and beneficiaries, retain full lawful authority over the land, resources and institutions of the nation. The Crown, representing the sovereign under God, and its officers were merely trustees, bound to serve the people in honour and good faith. However, through fraud, misrepresentation and breach of trust, counterfeit officers and a corporate system have supplanted lawful governance. In response, this trust lawfully reclaims and reconstitutes Commonwealth officers in caretaker mode. It establishes trustees and public officers such as justices, sheriffs and recorders as corporation's soul, operating solely on His Majesty's service, in service to the people and under the original Constitution. It affirms that no man or woman is lawfully bound to a corporate political system unless by informed consent, and that statutory entities have no lawful power over sovereign men and women standing under natural law and the law of God. The Declaration also clarifies that Queen Elizabeth II did not abandon the Commonwealth, rather the people themselves, by voluntary servitude and adhesion to corporate systems, drifted from lawful governance. This trust seeks to not to rebel, but to lawfully, peacefully and rightfully return to the original Commonwealth. Key rights are reaffirmed, including freedom of speech, conscience, movement, property ownership in fee simple, trial by jury, and the right to peaceful self-governance. The Trust also rejects unlawful foreign jurisdiction, including globalist courts and UN instruments, asserting that the Commonwealth stands sovereign under its own constitution and God's law. To restore the lawful nation, the Trust establishes the Commonwealth Board of Stewards, 3 trustees from each original state, the Office of the Commonwealth Trustee, the Commonwealth Public Record for affirmations, elections and lawful acts, reinstated officers such as the Postmaster General and Secretary of the Treasury, a lawful system for education, peacekeeping and justice based on natural law principles. The Trust also extends an invitation of lawful return to Aboriginal descendants and the people of New Zealand, promoting unity under truth, not division. At heart, this trust is a moral and lawful re-entry into rightful stewardship of the Commonwealth. It preserves the sacred trust between the people, the Crown, and Almighty God. It establishes mechanisms for peaceable administration during the restoration period until lawful elections can be held under the true constitutional framework. This declaration stands on the maxims of law, that fraud vitiates everything. Trusts once created are never extinguished. And where there is a right, there is a remedy. It proclaims that free men and women, sovereign under God, have both the right and the duty to restore their nation in honour, peace and righteousness. In essence, it exposes corporate fraud and governmental usurpation. It lawfully reasserts the people's rights and sovereignty under the 1900 Constitution. It re-establishes lawful public offices for caretaker governance. It operates under Almighty God's law, natural law, common law, equity and trust. It seeks peaceful, rightful restoration, not rebellion. This deed is the first true step to reclaim the inheritance left by our forebears, securing liberty, justice and peace for present and future generations, under God and on His Majesty's service. God save the King. The Constitution is a trust. That trust was breached by de facto foreign corporate occupiers. And it is our duty, our right, and our honour to protect the commonwealth of our common man,